Hi, this is Majinoni, and here's my reviews for Fear Itself Book 2 and Annihilators 3 of 4. I'm going to do Annihilators first. Now, this is basically its action is continuing. You have fantastic artwork. Now, keep in mind, this maybe not be your more traditional style that you might be liking, but I think the art style fits everything about this book pretty nicely. The pace is really good, and what I thought was really good about this issue here is when you think it's over, it's not. They give you the queen, and you think that yes, the queen is the main villain. They have to stop that. No. The plot is much deeper than that, and for that I really applaud them on this. And if they can pull this off, this series here is actually going to springboard, I don't want to say restart, but it's going to give a kickstart, I guess you can say, to a much needed storyline that's going to need to get started back up again. And I didn't word that correctly, but if those of you who've read this, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. Overall, I thought they did a lot of key things in here also that was good, in the sense of with the queen, basically was trying to jack up the surfer, with her tentacle thing into his forehead. And once that happens, they exchange memories, and eventually, what happens, the surfer technically would die, and then the queen would, gain his abilities, mind, body, things like that. Well, in this case, because the surfer is the Silver Surfer, he's that alpha level character. Well, the queen can't quite handle the energy, but as a result of this mind meld, the surfer is basically able to see a lot of the problems that are going on within the queen, and he understands the queen's situation a lot more, which is actually good for the readers, because the Direths have been out of circulation for so long. Newer readers just have no clue the history they have with Rom Space Knight. So this is a very important, needed story, bit of story that you get here. I'm trying to be really careful as to what I reveal, but basically what happens is the two, the dark sun and the regular sun, starting to merge. So what they have to do is they have to go to their universe, or they have to go to limbo. And once they go to limbo, they have to try to stop the merge from happening. And there's two things at the end. Well, there's one part at the end, which I'm not going to reveal, where it made my eyebrow twitch a little bit, because I'm like, really? But then I go, okay, no, that makes sense. I'm okay with what they're doing, and I really want to see what's going to happen with it. The other part, which is, like I said, dealing with, and there's the other part that I said that's dealing with a much needed attention, and I was really glad to see that. So again, this is actually, the Annihilators is now turning into that book that this is the must-read cosmic book. It's, to me, this seems a lot more exciting than all the Green Lantern stuff that's going on right now, because Green Lantern stuff is just regurgitated war, regurgitated stories, ideas, everything. Nothing is surprising, nothing is shocking, nothing is original. Annihilators, it's just they're hitting it out of the park each and every single time, and it's like they're using new characters, interesting ways, and they're bringing to life characters that really aren't used that often. And for that, they're turning this into like one of my favorite books, and I just wish that there'd be more. And of course, there's Rocket Raccoon, which I like, just because, how can you not like killer clowns? I know, I love killer clowns. So, there's that. Now, let's talk about Fear Itself, Book 2. I'm going to talk about this, and there's two different voices. One voice is the newbie voice, who goes, "Oh my God, this is so cool and interesting. I've never seen anything like this." And here's the other, and then I'm going to go talk to this in the established comic man's voice. Now, I think, like, with the artwork, and the artwork is great. I love it. I like the way they do some of these faces and heads. I think they show, like, there's a lot of emotion in it without really showing like detail emotion. So I thought that was really good and interesting. They're basically, Odin says that there's going to be another Ragnarok type thing that's going to happen on Earth. The Earth's going to be cleansed. Everybody's going to die. Fire, brimstone, all that nonsense. So that's why he's taking basically the gods up into Asgard. Well, Thor's like, "What are you doing? You know, we are the gods. We're supposed to protect the worlds. We're supposed to protect everything, and we're running." Thor's right in this situation. They should be down there kicking ass, especially since this is an Asgardian problem. And of course, and for those of you who don't know, that's Loki. Now, so if you remember from the previous issues, you had those hammers that are appearing. Now, here you have the Juggernaut, and he comes across a hammer. Now, when he touches the hammer, he transforms. Now, the new comic reader will go, "OMG, my God, this is the Juggernaut, and look what happened. He's this guy, and he's really powerful now. And, oh my God, look what he did. He just caused this whole explosion thing." Now, the established reader goes, "Yeah, he got turned into something, and it's just going to get retconned back, because there's absolutely no way they're going to keep the Juggernaut that powerful like that. Because, obviously, that's going to affect the Thunderbolts and the X-Men." So, while that's going on, Steve Rogers assembles the troops, divide and conquer, sends his troops out to go take care of the situation. Now, it's a shame that we're probably not going to be able to play this thing on the PS3 anytime soon. So, anyways, while that's going on, the Hulk and Bruce and Betty are off having a romantic camping trip, talking about life and what it's like to be the Hulk and Red Hulk and Red She-Hulk, and of course the hammer comes down, and this expression of the Hulk is just wrong. It's just wrong on many different levels. So, anyways, Hulk goes, he touches the hammer, and it seems that he has a little bit more control over his mind than the Juggernaut. And then even then, I'm like going, as the new reader, it's, "Oh my God, look at the Hulk. Look, he's going to be so cool now. He's going to owns over all these heroes. He's going to," but the established reader, that's not going to last for very long. Eventually, he's going to get beat, and it's going to have zero effect, because you can't have the Hulk with a hammer like this at this power level. And the same thing with the Absorbing Man and Titanic. Titanic gets the hammer, and she basically has complete control over her mind, and she's able to, you get the clue that there's two entities inside, and she's basically telling Absorbing Man, "Let's go get your hammer." Now, while that's going on, this is the part that I think was a little bit more on the interesting side, and this part actually makes me want to read the book more than all this other nonsense, because this other nonsense is basically just a slugfest that's going to happen. And while normally I appreciate the slugfest, we all know nothing's going to happen as a result of it. But while that's going on, what you have is the Red Skull unmasking her army of Nazis and machines and death vehicles and things like that. And while all the heroes are split up now, trying to basically put out all the fires that's going on with the fear and these hammers, well, what happens? The Red Skull launches an attack, and that's what I thought was very, very awesome, because now this is taking this whole story on two different fronts. You got the Red Skull battle Blitzkrieg, and you have the hammers, and then plus you have the fear side. So I think like, as a new reader, I'd probably be drooling on every page. As an established reader, I'm not seeing a lot that at the beginning part to make me go wow, but it's starting to make me get interested at the end. As a side note, I did not get the Spider-Man Fear itself, and I did not get front page or home front. I'm not supporting those books, not at all. I don't feel that I should have to buy any other book besides Fear itself to get the story, and I refuse to do that. I did look through Homefront, and I just shook my head in sadness because it's nothing what you would expect from that book. I pulled that book to a higher standard, and from what I saw of it, it just didn't even come close to it. Anyways, that's my review of these 2 books. If you have any comments or questions, let me know. Rate the video up or down, let me know what you think. I'll have more reviews once my head finally stops. The swelling from all this nonsense goes down a little bit, and I can actually concentrate a little bit more on it. So, until next